You don't have to know the way
I was really
goes the
surprised
way.
when I
You
found myself
don't have to plan
laying my
the
head into
way.
Bernadette's lap
Trust the
and being
way.
held,
Feel your way.
because I
The
felt it really
way knows. The
emotionally in that
way
moment that it's what I
knows.
needed. And as someone who holds a lot of space for others, I don't always allow myself to be held. And it was just the sweetest moment of receiving just what I needed, and it surprised me, and it felt just right and loving.
Not everyone knows what it can look like to grieve. Not everyone knows what it can look like to say, I'm really uncomfortable. I don't know how this needs to move through me. And we want this film and this project to give people a sense of what it might look like, a sense of permission to be as held as we dare to want to be held, even when we're scared to ask for that.
There's a way of being human that we have learned to forget.
This project is so important to me because it's something that I wish I'd seen. It's something that I wish were out there when I had no tools. And I know grieving and moving grief is healthy and needed and just makes way for pure expansion.
Because for many of us, we have forgotten how to grieve, and we have forgotten how to pray, and we have forgotten how to listen to our bodies. We've forgotten how to surrender to desire. And there's healing in the remembering.
And in my life and in my work, I talk about grief Eros all the time as a singular thing, like space-time. Yeah, and this morning I just landed in that, in the dance of what is left to be expressed, what hasn't been fully seen that wants to be seen, and having a dance with two people. And I was in both grief and erotic motion, and I could even feel after a week of village making, the training of my body of like, oh, is this okay? And then the part of me, the one of me that's says this is what we're doing, and this is actually a resource, and this is what has been named as being longed for, and we're all safe. And so I was like, oh, here it is. This is a thing you talk about all the time in village. How about that?
Trust the way, feel your way, the way knows, the way knows, the way knows, the way. You don't have to know.
There's so many moments with my friends that we get to share something we have never shared, that we maybe have been socialized to not have that conversation or to not be curious in that way. And then those moments, over the years, those moments have happened, and I'm like, wow, this is sacred, this is potent, this is necessary. And I could not think of a better group of people to lean into trust in that way, and the deep generosity of inviting you all to witness, inviting you into a deep space of generosity and vulnerability, and extending our trust to you in a very intentional way so that it may ripple out. The safest way forward is for everyone to heal.
A strong black woman, or or the presence of a black man, but you know and hear of their grief, but to see it, I think is important. I think it's real. It's important to see everyone's grief. And there are those, in my opinion, whose grief you don't get to see because they're busy surviving.
A lot of my life, I will have in my imagination, there's this like angel dance company that like, I'm like, hey, and now can 50 of us go like this together, you know? And like, and this is the closest I've ever gotten to that, you know? It's like in these moments where, you know, the traditional grief ritual doesn't have that component. That was kind of what got woven in, but there's like, in the tradition, it's like, okay, I know something's moving through me. I'm gonna let this go. And traditionally in the Dagra grief ritual, there's someone witnessing. But it was new to be like, Anne, will you dance with me? Anne, will you feel this with me? And will you like each of you has cultivated a relation to your own bodies and dance that carries such magic in it, that to feel that can be invocable, conjurable at a village level, that's everything to me. Yeah, and I have so many memories as a kid where like something was hard and I would just imagine all of us coming and doing this dance together, you know, and then we got to do that today.
Because grief, when we don't have community and understanding, feels isolating and wrong and small, and it aches inside. So I am so grateful to be a part of this project because I can't think of a person who doesn't need it. We need support. We need support to bring this to people. And so it's a humble ask, and it's an ask that's, it's a human ask.
The way knows the way. You don't have to
This film is a gift, and we need your support.
And I hope that you will support this because this is balm for everyone.